The newly crowned league MVP by his side was once ridiculed. He threw punches in the regular season, but was submissive and accomplished nothing in the playoffs. He was a two-time regular season MVP, but was labeled a failure by the outside world because of his bulky figure and slow movements. However, all of this was shattered in the 2023 playoffs. He defeated the Grim Reaper Durant 4-2, swept the Little Emperor of Basketball 4-0, and subdued the tough guy Butler 4-1. This seemingly average athlete, who led a basketball team that had been in decline for nearly 50 years, suddenly reached the top of the league. Time goes back to the 2014 draft, where the Nuggets selected Jokic from Serbia with the 41st pick in the 4th round. After continuing to hone his skills in the domestic league for another year, he boarded a flight to Denver after finishing the last bottle of Coke in his life. At that time, no one would have thought that this 4th-round pick, wearing a Cuban jersey, would have an excellent shooting touch and an unusual passing vision. At the end of his rookie season, he was selected as the best rookie doctor. Such excellent performance made the management determined to build a new lineup with Jokic as the core. In 2016, the Nuggets selected the model with the 7th pick in the 1st round. And in 2018, Morey also selected the potential of a 2'8" height through the 14th pick in the 1st round. Rookie Michael Porter Jr. This is the completion of the Nuggets' three main forces and officially embarked on the road to rise. In the 2020 bubble park, the Nuggets achieved a shocking reversal in the first game of 2 consecutive rounds of series, unexpectedly killing into the Western Conference Finals. Although they were eliminated by the Lakers, led by the Gunman's combination 1-4, the management still saw the dawn of the championship. In order to continue to upgrade the lineup, the Nuggets completed an important step in 4 years and finally got the crownless king Aaron Gordon. The team is already ready for the championship, but unexpectedly in this game against the Warriors, Morey's ears were accidentally injured and the season was reimbursed for ligament tear. To make matters worse, Hubert was also plagued by injuries and had to undergo the 3rd back surgery in his life, losing 2 core levels. With the teacher's end-of-year MVP feat, he still returned home early to fish on the stage of the playoffs. After waiting for a year and a half, the Nuggets finally welcomed the return of 2 powerful generals, Murray and Little Porter, at the beginning of the 2-23 season. In order to compete for this year's O'Brien Cup, the management waved a big hand and traded for several powerful players with championship experience. Hope, the super blue-collar Bruce Brown, are all important puzzles for the championship. The new season started, and after several games of adjustment, the second-in-command Murray was resurrected with full blood, and the team also truly entered the right track, winning one wave of winning streaks after another. However, with the arrival of the trade deadline, the competition in the West began a new chapter. The Grim Reaper Durant left the Nets and joined the Phoenix Suns, forming the most fierce scoring duo in the league with Booker. The Los Angeles Lakers also obtained Beasley and Russell through trade. The depth of the lineup has been further improved. It is also from this moment that the voice of watching the Nuggets has begun to spread wildly, and even some people stand up to deliberately belittle Jokic, thinking that Embiid is the undisputed first center in the league. In the face of the doubts of the world, the teacher did not stand up and speak, but used a continuous and stable performance to severely retaliate against the poet. The regular season won 53 games and the Nuggets became the first in the West. The home court advantage of the 15 playoffs kicked off the 2023 playoff fight. The first round of the playoffs, their opponent is the 8th in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Faced with the inside Twin Towers of Chicago Bell, it is expected to be fearless and unstoppable. The second-in-command also fully fired and played out the performance of the year in the park, and the entire Wolves team was crushed. The total score was 4-1, and the Nuggets strongly entered the Western Conference semifinals. And in the Western Conference semifinals, they will also usher in the biggest challenge on the road to the championship. The Super Four-Headed Phoenix Suns, led by the Super Four-Headed Phoenix Suns. Almost no one in B-City is optimistic about the Nuggets. A group of perennial losers dare to challenge the league's most unsolvable offensive weapon. It is simply a dream. However, as the series started, these people were slapped in the face. Under the desperate defense of the Nuggets, the Suns played without a clue, and the whole team was like a plate of loose sand. Almost all offenses pointed to Durant and Booker to offend, and no one stood up to share the pressure. The superstar was even cleaned up by a teacher without a place to bury him. After 2 battles, the desperate situation led 2-0 and firmly held the initiative of the series. The third stop is Phoenix City. Not long after the start of the game, Paul suffered a groin strain and had to regretfully retire. On the edge of despair, Durant and Booker could only start the power mode early and grab a hard-won victory. Just in the 4th game, the Suns' 2 major scoring machines once again ushered in an explosion, and they cut down 72 points together, and the total score was topped. In the key battle of the King, the Raptors coach made timely adjustments and sent out defensive sharpshooter Pope to make Booker. This change really worked. Under Pope's tenacious defense, Booker's offensive efficiency dropped significantly, while the Nuggets team was exceptionally hot. They won the first game by 16 points, defeating the Suns and successfully narrowly securing the match point. The sixth game, a life and death battle, kicked off in Phoenix's devilish home court. Coach A led the team to a huge lead of 30 points in the first half, ending the suspense of the game early and forcefully advancing to the Western Conference Finals. In the Western Conference Finals, they will meet a new opponent who has been in Denver for many years. This combination led by the purple and gold core Lakers. Before this, the Nuggets had lost to the Lakers in the playoffs, 3 of which occurred on the stage of the Western Conference Finals. Almost no one was optimistic that the Nuggets could stop Little Emperor James's another trip to the finals. However, as soon as the dramatic battle started, the situation developed in the opposite direction. Under the rain-like offense of the superstars, the Lakers were beaten without the power to fight back, and the total score was 0-2, forced into a desperate situation. The third stop moved to Los Angeles. The Lakers, standing on the edge of the cliff, had no way to retreat. The James combination was desperate to defend the victory at home, but the ideal was very full, and the reality was very skinny. In the case of Jokic's one-point position, the two were like gods, tearing the Lakers' back line to pieces. Even though old John tried his best, he couldn't overcome the lack of team morale. The total score was 0-3. In the history of the NBA, no team has been able to reverse the victory in this situation. The Lakers have almost lost the game and have no hope. In the fourth game of the finals, even if Old John scored 31 points in the half, it was difficult to wait for the Nuggets' full bombardment. At the last moment of the game, Teacher Lou's backhand three-pointer completely ended the entire series, and the Nuggets won the first entry into the finals in team history, hitting those who had doubted them in the face. In the highly anticipated finals, they will meet this year's biggest dark horse in the East, the Miami Heat, led by the league's tough guy Butler. This is a team composed of multiple road drafts that has played an incredible performance in the East, defeating the Bucks, led by Alphabet Brother, 4-1 in the first round to create the sixth Black 8 miracle in NBA history. 4 rounds 4-2 defeated Bruce's Knicks. Eastern decision 4-3 eliminated the Celtics, led by the Words. After such a fierce battle, the Heat's mentality and ball skills have been greatly improved. It is not an easy task for the Nuggets to win the championship. The first battle of the finals kicked off. Skeleton King Gordon took the lead and turned the river and the sea under the basket, helping the Nuggets to take the lead early. Teacher A even more lightly cut down a triple-double and completely dominated the game. The first Steel team won the red. The second stop of the finals, Teacher A continued to rampage all the way, expanding the lead to 8 points. However, as the fourth quarter entered, the situation on the field suddenly changed. Butler, like Jordan, scored unstoppable goals time and time again, performing a good show of a desperate reversal. The total score was 1-1, and both sides returned to the same starting line. The next game battlefield was moved to Miami. The third town, the young rookie Braun, stood up. Teacher A and Murray also played an unprecedented performance, both cut down 30 big triple-doubles, creating the history of the finals. Even if the Heat is still resisting, it is still lost. This key battle, the fourth game of the finals, Gordon once again played a stunning performance. In the Heat's restricted area, he took what he wanted. Although Butler kept hitting small climaxes in the fourth quarter of the first Steel team, it was still difficult to resist the Nuggets' full explosion. The total score was 3-1, and the Nuggets took the match point first, only one step away from the championship throne. The fifth battle returned to Denver, and the Nuggets on the plateau occupied an absolute advantage. However, the league's #1 tough guy would only willingly bow his head. In the final quarter, he scored 11 points alone, and the Heat even took a slight lead in the last 2 minutes. At the critical moment, a group of role players from the Nuggets stood up and reversed the situation again. With Butler's last redemption, the three-point shot was not stopped. The Heat was gone, and the Nuggets won 94-89. For the first time in 47 years, O'Brien was held up by Jokic as he wished, and he also won his first Finals MVP. After winning the championship, Teacher A did not roar or celebrate, but hugged the Heat players for the first time. Stepping into the league for 9 years, from a secondary leader to a 2-time regular season MVP, and now to a good night's sleep, O'Brien Cup won the Finals MVP. This big guy has already proven that he is the #1 person in the league today. Perhaps the road to Jokic's dynasty is about to come.